Where are we, Troy? Almost. Yes, almost there.
Almost there.
I'm just
And
going to
Jennifer,
upload some videos and all that good stuff, and we'll be ready to go.
how about you, Jennifer? Where are you at with that?
We're just beginning.
Just beginning.
Just beginning. We have the outline, and now we got to go ahead and get it started.
You're gonna be you're gonna fly through that because you've got all that stuff already created. You just got to throw it into one content place.
Oh yeah. I keep it in an organized little file because that's who I am. Nice and organized in little neat boxes.
Awesome. That's the plan, right, Troy? It's like there's so many successful agents with StreetText, all with unique follow-up and personalities and a way of doing things. Janky's like more of that team, like really, and Jennifer kind of came from the teaching background, right? What were you, elementary school teacher before Jennifer?
Third grade, yeah, mostly third.
Third grade. So you pull that element in, that's pretty fun. So yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch it from like our perspective and see, but like Janky is totally different than Jennifer. Wendy is different yet. Donna is different yet. George is different yet. As we kind of uncover everybody else's different systems and processes, they are different from each other. But the underlying key, there's two underlying key things that I see across everyone is the first off, consistency. Right? So you have a process that you, and a system that you pursue consistently, right? So that's, you know, daily doing these activities every single day. And then mindset, right? Looking at every single one of the leads that come in as an opportunity, right? Whether, you know, and it's interesting too, because I also see some people are getting like really low cost per lead and some people are getting higher cost per lead in different markets. And as long as they're just working it, they look at each and every single one that comes in as an opportunity, and they're trying to connect with them, trying to get the conversation started, trying to serve them, and consistently doing that every single day. Your processes and systems can vary wildly, right? So those are kind of the main key things. Then it's really like, hey, Jennifer does it this way. Hey, Janky does it this way. I kind of like what Janky does. I don't like what Jennifer does. Or maybe I'm gonna like take the two and shake them up and build my own sort of thing. Or maybe I'm gonna insert my own personality into it. So it's, you know, but I think when these courses are out, it's gonna help inspire you guys to kind of get an idea. Because I mean, we talk about the bits and pieces here and there, but to see it all kind of together is gonna be enlightening.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's kick it off. Who has something they want to share? Fun little win. Anything. Talk to us. Who's the last person that's been on an appointment with the StreetText lead? Share it up.
Well, I had a chat with one yesterday. She actually saw one of my posts because we are now friends from 5 months ago when she joined StreetText. And she's like, oh my God, I love that house. I totally want it. You know, send me info. And so I did, and come to find out she wants to build the house. Like she already has the land and the contractor, and she wanted the layout specs. And so I sent her all of that because it was a new construction. So I had all of that. And then I sent her the model she could go look at in another location so that she can, you know, see if she really likes it. And then she's like, thank you so much for all this help. That's awesome. I'll let you know when I'm ready to sell. So that's exciting.
So exciting. And your Facebook friends. So she's going to see you every day.
Yep. So she already sees how I market my properties. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that.
Going back to when you first began that relationship, what, 5 months ago, when she was a lead started 5 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you, like, was this the first time you heard from her, or did you have a conversation back then?
Very first time I heard from her. So we've sent her several things and texts and messages and everything, and she never responded. But she did respond to a Facebook post. So that's exciting. And that's why you should be Facebook friends with your leads.
100%. And that's in Wendy's first automated video that goes out looking to connect, and then again in day 12, correct?
Yes.
Both times. and she's looking to connect on Facebook. And now when you get the connection on Facebook, I don't know, I mean, I know you've got a million things going on. Do you try to put them in a little list, Wendy?
Yes, I have lots of lists in Facebook. So, so yeah, I have StreetText lead lists. I have seller lists. So like if they're a buyer or a seller, I like try to put them in that. That way I can, you know, target the buyers with, you know, amazing interest rates and and then target the sellers with different items. So I also have past client lists, which are super important to do because you constantly want to stay in front of them because they're going to be the ones referring you to everybody.
Love it.
Wendy, how are you getting like, are you getting to the top of your amount of people that you can have on Facebook?
Yes. I'm constantly needing to delete. But when I first started this last November, happy anniversary, I had to delete a whole bunch just to, you know, start letting people in. And I just still have continued to try to do that. It's really hard because, you know, you have agents friending you now, you know, from all over the country, which is cool because then I could put them in a group out of the right agents. But then you have these guys saying, hey, let's be friends, but you're at 5,000. So yeah, I'm constantly deleting. It's a never ending process.
You know what, an easy way to do that when you're getting to those numbers, just a manageable way, Wendy, is look at the birthdays. Yeah. And you know, because you can see the upcoming birthdays, you can see like your past birthdays and just the current birthdays, and just hover over their mouse or their name when you're on your computer and look at the, like, if you can't remember their face and you have no message history, that's going to recall you to figure out why you're Facebook friends.
Right. Well, and that's kind of how I've been doing it because I've been putting all of those people in a list every day just because that's the easiest way to do it when you have that many friends. So if I don't know them or they're from, you know, Nigeria, I have no friends in common, like, bye. And then, you know, and then if they're agents, I'm definitely putting them in a list. If they're local here in Las Vegas, I put them in a locals list because I like to reach out, you know, to all the locals. And then if they're realtors in Las Vegas, they're in a separate list. So for other reasons.
And hey, and some people aren't going to feel comfortable with Facebook friending leads they've never met before. I get that too.
Right.
You know,
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking 10% have accepted my friend request out of 2,500. That's not very many, but.
You know, another option is to put your messenger URL there and try to get the connection back on Facebook. It's like, because you know, you can get them just like that call to action within BombBomb or even Deb, I think, is, you know, when you reinforce that you're looking for the connection on Facebook, it doesn't have to be the friend request, even though you're looking for that obvious connection. It could start with the Facebook Messenger link.
Right. When I do my video CMA, and then you can add that little tagline at the bottom of the video. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, I put chat with me on Messenger, and then I put that link in there so that they can go right to my Messenger and chat with me right from that video.
In the call to action?
Yeah, the call to action. Thank you. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the key, right? I think at the end of the day, Jennifer, you're really good at this. I'm going to probably call on you to speak up on this, is that your automations, your auto email, your day 3 email, your day 10 email, any emails that you're adding in additionally, those are just percentages that you're going to be getting opened, and only percentage of those that are, you know, you can't tell within the StreetText automation if there's any videos being opened and watched. You can only tell if the email is being opened. So you should have every single one of those emails that you have created in your automations with video especially also ready and canned for a personal send out from your BombBomb, because you need to attach tracking behind it. Because the measurement, the true measurement of if your communication's getting received is when you get notified that it's been opened, that you get notified that the video that you put in there has been played. And if you have any links that you want them to click on, that's getting clicked. And if you get those 3 done, you are in the best case scenario because they've all gotten what you wanted them to receive. Now it's just a matter of timing if that person's responding to you. Would you say that, Jennifer? That's a key there?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And I go back and I check through StreetText to see if they were open. And if I find that they're only opening 1 or 2 out of the 4 I've sent, I look to see which ones they've opened by looking at that number. Anyhow, and so that kind of helps me change up, was it an emoji I used? Did I not use an emoji on that subject line? And I find that just changing up that subject line sometimes will get people to open. And then the BombBomb, like you said, not using the automation through StreetText, my CMA is done through BombBomb, so I make sure that has 100% open rate. Like it will have an open unless it's the wrong email address. And then when I follow up and ask if they want an updated valuation, that's also through BombBomb as well, so I can track that because I have to make sure they.
100%.
Yeah.
And so. What do you have like percentages in your head? Like, with emails that are coming in, contacts are coming in, how effective do you think your communication is at being received and open if it's a legitimate email?
I think I'm still trying to figure that out as far as the StreetText goes. I'm just now getting more comfortable looking at the timeline for each of those clients or customers rather to see that they're opening it. But as far as BombBomb, I would say like 95%. Like anything I send through BombBomb, it's going to get open. And like I shared before, but I know there's new people. So when you send something through BombBomb, if something hasn't been open and it's been, let's say 24 hours, you're done. They're not thinking about you. They're not going to go back and open it. I mean, we know how that is. We check our inbox every day and there's a bunch of, crud in there. So in 24 hours, if they haven't opened it, I resend it. Now, if 24 more hours goes by and they still haven't opened it, now I'm going to change up the title. So I'm changing up the subject line, but it's the same message. And I will do that over and over until I make sure 100% of them open it. And they do. And then once they open it, now you've made the connection. They recognize your name. And from there, I can continue to follow up.
Smart stuff. Anybody doing the same? Because if you're not, you're missing out. And I think ultimately that's the key is if you're running the dynamic seller funnel, which most of you are that are here, your highest amount of contacts coming in outside of address only are address plus emails. So you're missing out if you're just waiting for the phone number. Like you're missing out big time. Because the phone number, from what we've seen with stats, okay, and this is just kind of gives you a clue even on your ad performance. If we're looking at 60 to let's say 5% of click to contacts on that seller funnel being an address, well, you can basically look at 1 in 3 of an address becoming an email. So you should be getting for every 3 addresses an email. That's the trend we see usually. I mean, that's just the average. Every market's differently. And about 1 in 3 emails are a phone number. So if you're just waiting for the phone number, you're missing out big time on all 8 of those opportunities outside of the phone number. Does that make sense? Questions. This is the mastermind, guys. You're supposed to be talking. Ask questions because you're going to get, between Janky, Jennifer, Leon, and a bunch of people that are here. And feel free to share your successes. This is the best time to just unmute yourself and ask questions.
Marcus, how you doing? Freddie here in Miami. How you guys doing?
Good.
Listen, I've had a great success I'm running a buyer's ad in New York, and for about 2 weeks now, and I've gotten a bunch of numbers. I have 3 buyers already. I got one lady that's coming next month. I already booked her on Airbnb. She's buying a house between 1.2, 1.5 million. So I already send her some properties, and I send her the school districts, the best school district for their kids, and she's coming to buy. And then I have another guy that I spoke to him yesterday, and he wants to purchase a $4 or $5 million condo on the beach.
And you did that from an out of town, so you went to New York, and just what made you choose New York for Miami? And by the way, Miami's my hometown.
Yeah, a lot of New Yorkers are moving here because there's no state tax, so they're really moving down here. So I went and placed the ad in Manhattan. And it's been working like a charm. I'm getting
so smart.
90% of them are sending, are putting their phone numbers as well.
Good for you. That's awesome. I like that idea.
Freddie, can I ask you a question? What kind of buyer ad did you use?
The one that's there, the one that has the lady in the pool, and you only see her feet. I forgot the, what you call the,
You mean
that
this one?
That one, correct.
Wow, check out all these amazing homes in Miami under 700K, home emoji, to see
That's
my
it.
link below. That's it.
That's
That's
it.
awesome.
And by the way, I was looking at your ads. I love the We Love Miami ad is working good for you too.
Yeah, as well, yeah.
So he's also doing, you know, as we've spoken about before, home values have changed, your may have been affected. Find out now what's your Miami home really worth. You've also used the same image with the what's your home really worth, enter your address, receive your home value.
That's correct.
Right? So good job on testing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions for Freddie on the buyer side? Because buyer campaigns are rocking too. Like, don't just stick in sellers. Buyers are awesome, and oftentimes buyers actually have to sell as well.
So we
I have a
converted,
question.
go ahead.
Are you sure? You can go ahead if you want.
So we converted we set 6 buyer appointments yesterday, day before yesterday. And all, like Marcus just said, 3 of them have to sell in order to buy. So 6 were set. Out of that, 4, my buyer's agents are taking over, showing them properties. They're already converted to go, and they're showing properties this weekend. So Marcus, you're right. Don't just focus on seller leads, because from the buyer leads, you definitely will get sellers.
Well,
So
I
that-
didn't have any luck with buyer ads. So I just got negative feedback and not good results. So
First, you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. There's a song, isn't there?
One
yeah,
of the
you sure
things,
do.
yeah, one of the things you need to kind of think about or remember with buyer leads is, you know, you do have sellers that don't want to disclose because they're not trying to get bothered. So along the lines of the Facebook stalking, jump over into, you know, truepeoplesearch.com or them other things, look them up and see if you can trace them to an address. Because one of the things I've done is when I do that, I'll start a seller drip on them and start sending stuff out. And they don't think about it because, you know, they've gone through 50 different sites. So they don't remember what they did or didn't do. So you could just start a slow drip that away. And then that way, when you reach out and get talking to them, when the conversation comes up about what they're buying, when you ask that question about do they have a home to sell, you're already up to speed for what that neighborhood is, what the neighborhood sales are, keeps the conversation going for the engagement.
Yeah, I do a pool list home in Henderson, and that gets a ton of, I mean, especially in the summer when it's 120 here, everybody is constantly asking, and they'll even say, well, what about a pool list in Summerlin instead, or, you know, a different area, and those do really well. And it's,
yeah,
yeah.
It's interesting. I think the buyer, like the buyer side, it's really powerful. The key is you gotta offer reasons to have that conversation. So, you know, after people start joining those buyer lists, you know, sending out a message a week or 2 later saying, hey, I saw you got the list, hope you like it. Is there anything you'd want to tailor or personalize or customize to what you're looking for? So you want to start the conversation based around what they need, always putting their needs first. Then you're going to find a lot more success. If you kind of come out there with like a strong sell, or if you have, you know, sometimes what we'll do is we'll pre-frame it. So for ourselves, we'll look at things almost like expecting, we're like hesitating towards a response. And then we see something that we interpret as negative. It's not necessarily that it's negative, but we've already interpreted it that way. And so it could be somebody who had like a legitimate objection and they need somebody to answer it for them and give them clarity. But that's what we see. And that's the first one we see. So then we just write up every other buyer lead that we got. And so rather than doing that, just starting with really just helpful questions. Hey, did you get the list? You know, what happened with that list? If you need it tailored, are you looking for 2 beds, 3 beds? Are you looking for specific homes, townhomes? You name it, your needs are different. So maybe you want a swimming pool. It's, you know, always opening that conversation and then just opening our own minds and just being like, okay, you know what, there's a lot of people who really need a new home right now. And they're having a hard time surfing through and navigating through, you know, finding it because inventory has been really low. And so that's a really good reason to have a conversation. It's a really, like, people need you.
I couldn't agree more, John. I mean, I think the key with these buyer campaigns is that you intentionally make that list wide open and something that would almost overwhelm somebody, because when you do that, now the first autoresponder and then your intentionality behind your personal emails and using BombBomb like Jennifer would use would be all about finding that perfect property that they're looking for, asking, hey, what are the amenities you're looking for? School districts, neighborhoods, talk to me, like, let's refine this overwhelming list and get you a list of properties that is meant for you, right? And I think that's the key. I challenge anybody on that level who are like saying, well, I'm just not talking to people. I'm like, well, what are the questions you're asking? I think sometimes you got to reshape your mindset a little bit and come into
You're asking questions.
Yeah, are you asking? It's not just giving them a list of properties or a home value. If you're doing that, you are going to quickly be frustrated and you're going to lose out on so many conversations, because it's not even about that. I mean, really, it's just, I talk about it all the time. It's a page out of Winning Friends and Influencing People. They got to know and like you first, and you've got to be approachable. You've got to be authentic. You got to ask questions that are, unique. It's not are there any updates or renovations that I should be aware of? It's like, isn't everybody and their mom doing that same thing? Like, maybe that's what's not getting results, because you're asking the same question.
Marcus, you have to come from contribution, right? You have to come from a giving angle and not constantly say, hey, what are your upgrades? Like you just said, what have you recently done? Although that is an automated email, sometimes that goes out, pick up the phone. I don't know what the big fear is. We're talking about videos. We're talking about it not working. What are you focused on? If you think your ad is not working, go to the masterminds that StreetText has. Like, go to the ad tweaks class, go to the conversion classes, ping on Jennifer, myself, Wendy, even I go by names. I'm so who are the other, Leon, ask all of them that have had success, ping them and say, hey, what are you doing? Do you have a quick minute? I've had so many people text me and ask me that. So this is the time. If something's not working for you, if there's a particular ad that's not working for you, please, I encourage you to go to the ads tweaks class that is offered, because that is really well worth it, well worth your time. And then when we talk about conversions, what is your conversation? What are your key questions you're asking? Think about that. Come from the contribution angle. That's something I'm always going to say. And I'm always going to talk about that, because it's so important to understand, again, what their personality is like, right? You got to come from a serving angle rather than saying, this is not working for me, I'm done. Negative mindset, again, 90% is mindset, right? Where are you taking your mindset this morning, and how are you going to deliver it to your clients? It's going to be so important, guys. I can't say more about that.
And a huge factor amongst everybody that's sharing that's successful is they are hyper focused on the follow-up. They're even so hyper focused on the follow-up that us as coaches will go into their account and see their ads, and we're like, that ad needs to be fixed. Like, you're not getting the best results with that. You're spending too much money on that ad. And they're like, well, my focus isn't there. My focus is on the follow-up. So sometimes we get so focused on ad performance, getting the perfect leads coming in, turning off ads and second guessing. And we forget that the follow-up is the most important part of this game. So I'll tell you time and time again, us coaches have gone into people who are sharing on masterminds like this, and we just peek at their ads and we're like, oh, and we message them and say, that ad, like, you need to work on that one. That one's not doing that great. But that's because their focus is on the more important part, the contribution, the follow-up. Could they tweak their ads to get more people in their funnel? Yes, but your focus is your superpower. So sometimes we get so hyper-focused on ad performance that we're stopping and starting that, not realizing that the most important part is follow-up and how you're contributing, and ignoring the naysayers that make you hesitate, the text messages that make you second guess what you're doing, the lack of responses that make you stop. You don't stop, you just keep going. You just keep working it. You just keep your mental part of that in the game and keep playing. That's how you win.
Well, Ira, how about the relationships, right? You're building a relationship, guys. Don't forget that, right? Jennifer, Wendy, all of us, all of us that are successful and we see success, don't we always come from a contribution angle, like providing them information, right, Jennifer? I mean, we go out and provide them information. We provide them in, data, facts, stats of what's selling in their area. Don't come from an angle Like, and I sorry if I'm being so passionate about it. I really feel that, if when you say it's not working for you, let's dig deeper. Let's figure out why it's not working. And are you doing what you're meant to do for these sites? Remember, obviously these are online leads, right? It's going to take time. We have an expansion team in LA, and the other day I had to coach him into helping him understand that these are online leads. It takes some time. So give it some time. What is your follow-up script? What is your relationship that you're trying to build at the end of the day? What is their goal, right? Figure that out, and ask the key questions. That's very important.
See, Janki just said it
And
perfectly. That's exactly right. And people will say, oh, well, I don't think it's working. And I was just talking to Jonathan yesterday about this, because I think a lot of it, people try to fit in a box of what someone else is doing. And, you and I have talked about it. You and I are very different, but you're successful and it works. And that's the thing, is you have to find someone who I guess is more in line, take pieces. But, I could not be successful sending the postcards. Like, I know Donna Swansea and you guys are amazing. It's not my style. So I feel like these people that maybe think it's not working, it's not the lead. Are you doing what's making you comfortable? And I go out of my comfort zone, but you have to your personality has to kind of come through. And, if messaging people and stalking them on Facebook like I do doesn't work for you, like there's other ways to follow up in the mail, or you can send an email, you could do bomb. You don't like video, right? You're not a video lady.
I'm not a video person. I'm not even a Zoom person. I mean, but look what March did to us. Like, COVID came around and I had to change my game, like be in front of people, all of a sudden be on videos. I'm very critical of myself because I'm a high D. I need things to be perfect, and sometimes I feel like, well, I don't look perfect and therefore I don't want to do this. But video is one of those, right? But again, I had to get, my coach coached me into that and saying, you've got so much to offer. You need to be out there, right? And this is why I'm here, and on video. And Marcus has to ping me saying, are you coming? I'm like, oh God, but that's something I just have to, it's out of my skin. It's out of the box kind of feeling. But I know that the message, that I need to send out here is important. And so we have to do things out of the box at times. I don't do videos, and I will. I do videos. What I do videos is on my phone, right? If I'm showing properties, I'll do a quick video. Hey guys, I've got these many properties for you guys. I'm ready. I'm excited. Or if it's a seller, I'm going to be sending you a CMA, but I don't use BombBomb, and I don't do that. I just send a video through text. Simple. Yeah. And that works great for me.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, I'm new. I started in October. I absolutely love StreetText. Seeing tons of results, so I'm super excited. I'm planning on sending a Christmas touch to everyone that came through already, whether address only. Do you guys do that stuff or don't do that stuff?
Jennifer, you want to go? What do you do?
Not my thing. I don't do it. I reach out with them. I connect on Facebook. I'll put messages, but no, not my thing. Pop buys, I haven't done that. Wanted to, but then I thought,
no, I don't do.
I love your flamingo, by the way.
Thank you so much. I get a lot of that. No, I don't do Popeyes either. But with what Jake is saying, I lead by value.
Okay, so basically what we're doing is if you're not a part of Lab Coat Agents, I encourage you to come there today. We're doing something from AM Cards, and I'm interviewing one of the owners of the company. I'm going to be using them, AM Cards, to actually send out to my past clients, send something out of value for them, right? Just saying, hey, happy holidays. To address only, I always send out something or the other, but it's snail mail, right? It's address only. I go a little bit deeper. I pull the property profile and I get some information, more information as much as I can. 9 out of 10 times you might see a forwarding address. There were a couple of them last week that we did have a forwarding address. The person lives in Alabama. And he contacted me, and we have a phone appointment set. He has a property here in Haywood that he wants to sell. And he goes, listen, I got your piece of, production. We sent out a proof of production postcard. It went all the way to Alabama because we had the forwarding address. And I just wanted to send out something, some piece of information to him. And guess what? I have a phone appointment set with him for Wednesday to speak to him about selling his home. So yes, address only, we do send out something or the other, but something of value, right? Something to make them think, oh, yeah, I do want, I want to know, I'm curious.
Correct. Yeah, it will be a handwritten note. And then my other clients, they get a gift. And
Yeah.
but that's the way I run my other half of the business. I was just wondering. It's amazing.
think it's a
I'm
good
glad to be
idea.
part of the community. I've had great interaction. I love massaging leads. So this is a perfect system for me. And I find it very interesting. I referred 2 other agents and I know Troy talked to them and they both quit because they said it wasn't working for them. And I love what you said, Janky. It wasn't working because they weren't willing to do any follow-up.
You know,
And
there's
they
a
wanted the
system.
easy road. They just wanted an easy lead and there are no such things.
Look, real estate is not for everyone. We all know that. But when you put in your time, you have to have patience, especially online leads. Why does it work for Wendy and why does it work for Jennifer and Leon and some of the other people here that are successful, myself? Why does it work for us? Because we pick up the phone and we call. We, we role play like this morning, right around 10:15 after I get off here. First 15 minutes, we're going to role play with our team, entire team on Zoom. So even if you're a solo agent, role play with yourself or get an accountability partner, role play and get going on the phones. You do have phone numbers that you can call. And I know, Wendy, you're nodding your head, but that's something that I do. And see, we're so different. And this is amazing because you can pick up some things from her, some things from Jennifer, we just go all out there where, our mindset is different. We go out there, not to say their mindsets are not good. Everyone has their own way of doing it. It's which way works or resonates with you.
So can someone share with me, if you have a buyer's agent, how do you work the leads? What are your requirements for your buyer's agent with StreetText?
Oh, that's a different conversation completely. I mean,
yeah, I know, but I'm working on my
talk about buyer leads
plan.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about buyer leads and how we work them. So Patrice, I have a little bit of an answer for you. So we have a different perspective from Wendy and Jackie. We're one of those companies that Ira was talking about, saying that, oh my God, you're paying too much for your leads. What are you doing? What are you doing? I just got told that this week. So what we do, our buyer leads are exceptional. And the ad that we run says it's very specific to our neighborhood. It's the neighborhood that we're in is a harbor. So we have waterfront properties and off-water properties. So my 2 ads are, would you like to see waterfront condos and would you like to see waterfront homes? They get hit all the time. They're good leads. And my assistant who picks up and follows up on those leads, follows up on them. Yes, absolutely. Everything that Wendy and Janky are saying, you have to make the phone calls, do the emails, do follow up with them. We have KV Core. So
do I.
The way I looked at it was I was building a system. I'm the slow roll. I wasn't looking for a fast ROI. I was looking for something that was going to produce results in 6 months to a year. And it took me some time to set up, and I'm still working out the bugs on our system. So our leads go from, they click on Facebook. When they click on that ad, they put in their information and it takes them directly to my website. They are looking at an IDX feed of today's listings on the waterfront, like right now. And they can go back there and look at those anytime they want. They now have that link and they love my website and they enjoy it. So that's coming from contribution, as Janky says. They get what they want immediately. They don't just get a phone call or a follow-up or a link sent to them. They actually get to look at the listings and dream about living on the waterfront.
Question for you, just because I have KB Core too, and I like the buyer leads. On your landing page, how many do you leave it open where they can visit as many times without putting in their information, since it's now a new site? Or
yes, because I already have their information. I have their information in KB Core. And when they pop into KB Core, now I can text them, email them, I can call them, and keep them in the loop, keep talking to them. I know how many times through StreetText and through KV Core, how many times they're opening things, you know, emails, texts, what have you. And we've got a good list of buyers that Jimmy is actively working with, out showing properties, you know, now on a daily basis. Now, it took us a while to get the system smooth. There were a lot of bumps, and that's fine. And we're busy. So we're also busy with business, you know, that from our SOI that we already had. So slow roll is okay. You don't have to get that ROI right now. The price for StreetText is very reasonable. The support is amazing. Nobody has the support that StreetText has, not KV Core, none of the platforms that I pay for have this kind of support.
Well,
so over time, with consistency, with coming from contribution, with the follow-up, we're starting to see those buyer leads turn into actual showings and going out, and we're going to be in escrow. We'll be in
that's exactly what I said, Darlene, is, you know, find an ad that actually works in your location. We have one ad that really works really well for us. And when I was talking to Troy yesterday, we looked at that, and that's just doing fantastic. It's about the 1-bedroom, 1-bath downstairs. That's very popular here in the, you know, Fremont area. So we don't mess with our ads as much as everyone does split test and does this and does that. We leave it alone and see how it's working well for us, because again, it takes time for online leads, and buyers are the best way. We've already sold, I think, about 7 or 8 properties in the past 4 or 5 months, because they were buy and sell, right? So they all came from the buy side. And
they all have a property to sell. So we're sides of it. And once you build that relationship, you're talking to them on the phone, you're discussing properties. Now we're sending them properties 1 at a time, 2 at a time. Here's 2 that fit your criteria. Now we've talked to them, we have their actual criteria, and now they're converted. So
Darlene, oh, sorry to interrupt. When you mentioned that you put your website, do they go to a specific place in your website for those?
Yes.
So you've already set that up, and you use a URL for them specifically to go to that particular area of your website. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So in that buyer, when you set up that ad, you can put the URL, right? So once they put in their information, it takes them to either the page for Huntington Harbor condos or Huntington Harbor waterfront homes. They're both, I think they say water view, because it's hard to get the criteria out. So some of them might only be a pool, but it's water view. You're limited by the MLS, but they'll be able to see those as many times as they want. And then we have something to ask them. Did you like our website? Did you like what you saw? You know, Jimmy's follow-up is, hey, you've been looking around on our website. We know they have been, because that's where they went. And they tend to remember that more than a Facebook ad. But I took that tip from last week. Take the picture of the ad they clicked on. Was that Wendy? Take the picture of the ad they clicked on and put it in the text. So I sent out about 20 of those yesterday and probably only got 1 response, but that was another follow-up, another remember me. But again, coming from contribution, as Janky says, when they get on that website, and it takes, like I said, it's a slow roll. So it takes some time. I had to set up the IDX searches. I had to set up the custom pages on my website, and everything was new because I switched to KV Core. So I think I started in April, May, something like that on StreetText. And I knew that I was going to be in this learning curve, not only with StreetText, but with KV Core and all my other technology, because there was also Zapier, and then there's BombBomb. I didn't pressure myself. We do the follow-up as best we can while we're getting the systems put in place. And now we're starting to see our results. We don't have any listings yet, but that doesn't mean that the listings that I'm getting from my SOI aren't coming from them seeing my StreetText ads.
It's all about value. It's all about what you give them and what, you know, coming from contribution. And providing them information that they're looking for. It's that simple. And then
Correct.
following the process. I don't have KV Core, I have Chime, but in Chime you can see the scores, and that's again, like I said, a different conversation.
Yeah.
So Darlene, when they click on your ad, are they going to a StreetText landing page, or are you doing a lead format?
Yeah, well, I get the lead format, I think. So I capture their information, and once they put in the information that they're willing to put in, I think it autofills it also, which is
Right, yeah.
whatever Facebook has
Okay.
for his head. So yes, it autofills it. And then they click submit and get the privacy policy and all that.
Okay.
And it goes directly to the page that they chose on my website. So it was either a condo or a home.
Okay, thank
I
you.
have KV Core too, and I don't do that. I have synced my KV Core with StreetText. So anything that comes in through StreetText goes automatically into my KV Core. And then I get notifications if they're revisiting after so many days, or what products they've looked up, or if they set up a search.
Yeah,
So
my
that's how
website's in KV Core. So it's a KV Core website, and then so it's all they're all there. They've got that hashtag. Learning hashtags was super fun.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I didn't create a landing page. I just used the StreetText ad. That's the difference.
Yeah, it's
So
a
I
street.
didn't, yeah.
No,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. It's a StreetText ad, and then Zapier somehow takes over with the.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought I was missing something. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's
I
all.
told you I'm new. Thank you for sharing, because that's my goal for next year. I need to expand I want to duplicate myself. So
Patrice, if you want me to help you on that process with KV Core, StreetText, Zapier, now I'm a pro, and I would be happy to just do a Zoom meeting like this and look at your screen and
oh,
everything.
I would love that.
Yes,
I'm
I
gonna
would
send you
love
my
that. Me too.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
start.
When is it scheduled? I'm writing it down in my calendar now. You're committed.
Exactly.
I agree,
So
Jennifer.
my suggestion would be an insider group. Just go in there and post it, and everybody can sign up with it, and you guys coordinate it.
Yeah, and then we can record it, and then that way we can post it in there and keep it so everyone can access. I think that'd be very cool.
Okay, don't expect it to be smooth, because
Darlene said she wanted to do it today. Darlene, now I can't sleep until I know that I'm very type A. That's my disc profile. Very type A.
Somebody
You are
help
a D. That's what you are, Jennifer. You are myself, and I think Wendy and some of us here.
Yeah, she's a D. You're a D.
Okay, we have someone that wants to share. I'm putting Katrina on the spot. Katrina, I shared your post in the insider group, and I put in the announcement section because I like the follow-up detail that you had there. And I know you're a KV Core user as well. Walk us through a little bit about, where you are, how long you've been with StreetText, what your success has been, and where you started seeing these results based on the follow-up you're using. If anybody's wondering what that follow-up is, go to the announcement section of the insider group.
So hi guys, I'm Katrina. I've been using StreetText since July, and I've been in real estate for like a year and 3 months. But my business was dead the entire 2020, so I only closed 4 transactions since April. But April, May, June, July, August, for 5 months, like I don't have any closings at all. So I was trying to figure it out, what's the best way for me to really get more leads. And I found StreetText, but my attitude is more aggressive because I don't have any business. So I don't have anything to feed myself. So I really I wake up early in the morning, 7 o'clock, 7:30. I'm on my desk, script practicing. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't have something fancy to present on CMA or anything at all. But every single day, once I get a lead from StreetText, I place them right away to CRM. I categorize them. It's like StreetText leads for sellers. And then I add them on Facebook. I introduced myself, message them on Facebook. And then nothing too fancy. It's just basically introducing myself. Hi, I'm Katrina Higgins. I want to personally introduce myself to you. You requested a home evaluation just a few days ago, and I want to let you know that I am working on it. Done. And then I will submit them a CMA, but my CMA, it's just an initial CMA. I always want to ask for appointments. I'm not giving them away a lot of things. All this status, this data, nothing is free here in America. So that's my mindset. So I'm not giving you anything unless you want to schedule a booking with me, an appointment with me, and they will literally like, they want to learn more. And then if they don't respond, that's fine with me. I place them on market reports. That means that they will get notification on their zip code that this is what's happening in your neighborhood. I also send out a mass email video, which means that telling them like what's going on in our real estate market right now. I want to focus my energy, my time only for the sellers. I don't really run ads with buyers because I was I felt like really stressed out with buyers, but sellers are more easier for me. And I kind of felt like sellers are more faster. They have more motivation when they reach out to me, and I can help them out as fast as I can. And then I always just send them video, and I don't give them the whole how much it will sell for. I will give them an estimate how much it will sell for. I will give them just a tiny tips how to really improve the sale of your home and how we can generate more buyers or more offers on the table. If they want to learn more, they need to schedule a booking with me. And so far, from 4, I think I did 23 business the whole entire 2020. So from 4, I added more people. So that means all of my sellers are buyers too. So I was able to really convert them as fast as I can. So that's all I gotta do in the morning. Just follow up every single morning. There's no secret. It's just basically following up. And you don't need anything fancy. You just need to really rely on your CRM, stay organized. And I literally by the book, like I have my CMA right here. I will cross them off. Okay, I did my CMA right here. This is the value. So I can track all the people that I've spoke with. And that's about it. Nothing.
That is so awesome, Katrina. Good job, because the process, the follow-up, the scripts, the waking up early and focusing on, all of that, it's your mindset. That is amazing. Wow. Because again, that's all about your mindset. Look how awesome, you went from 4 to 23. Yeah. And like I said, it's about the mindset, right? And you did fantastic. I mean, if you don't have that mindset, that's 90% of your issue right there. A negative mindset is going to keep on saying negative out there. And if you have a positive mindset that you're going to convert X amount, that's going to happen, and that was awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Good job.
Love StreetText. I'm still learning, same as you guys. So Absolutely. It just takes a lot of, it's just much more, I wanted more faster results. So I'm much more aggressive. And I will, I update them at least twice in a week. Like let's say North Carolina Real Estate Commission, they're gonna send us a monthly email, and I will place that monthly email. It's just basically copy paste and put them on MailChimp campaign, and you can just send that helpful information for the sellers, because everyone wants to know what's going on in the real estate market world. So that's something you can just copy paste from your state and just send it over to all your buyers and sellers.
And you don't need a fancy, CRM, really. You don't.
Just need to have your own system.
I mean, you don't have to have KV Core. You don't have to have Chime. You don't have to have X, whatever you have, work with that system, because again, it's all about how you process that lead and make it and build that relationship, how you convert it, what are your questions you're asking, all of that matters, right?
Yes, the questions that you really ask, even though, like, let's say, oh, they're not really opening my video, like what type of message are you trying to convey to the viewers? Like, are you asking the right questions? Like, how soon do you need to move? Do you need to really sell your home? Like, you need to get that motivational questions able for them to respond. Sometimes the sellers doesn't even know the process. Like I have some sellers who are 80 years old. They've never done selling for many years. Like, how can I prepare my house? And I will tell them, like, look, all you have to do, let's start first, meet with me, We're gonna set up a plan of action. We're gonna get you movers, contractors, cleaning service, anything that you need in order for you to move. We'll take care of that. They need that person, and you have to contribute that. When they see you, they really want to hire you because this is the service that you're providing them. So I've never done any staging before. Like, it's my first listings with StreetText, and I was just like trying to figure it out. What do I need to do? So just trying to connect with the sellers. If I am under situation, if I'm selling my house, do I need movers? Do I need cleaning person? Do I need to stage my house? So you as a professional, you need to really come up with a value and what type of service are you going to provide them when they hire you?
Speaking my language. This is awesome. Good job, Katrina.
And Katrina, just go back to it. 4 transactions before you met StreetText. Now, how many transactions have you
calculated? So I always track my numbers. I always start my day with 0. So it's like a 0 mindset, like how many people I have to talk to. Like if you see my task report, like, so I've been just following up. It's just more negotiation today, but I have my daily task. How many meaningful conversations do I have every single day? I mark them off. How many StreetText touches I have to do today? Like how many people I need to touch today? So it's all about, they kept telling me like, hey, it's all about the number games. You need to talk to people. I'm not just talking to StreetText, but I can do it on Instagram, Facebook, or friends. I'm asking for referrals. So there's so many ways you can do. And regarding your questions from 4,
that is so awesome.
I have 19 September, October. So this is why I'm so busy. 19 added. So since August, September, November. So yeah.
Sky's the limit. I love the success stories and testimonials like this, because Katrina had barely just began and now like quadrupled her business flow.
That's
always about like starting your day, like how many people I'm going to help. Like I don't want to focus, no offense with other who wants to work with buyers, but if I wanted to have more faster pace, then I need to be aggressive. I need to really play my cards right. Do I want to work with buyers or do I want to work with sellers? If I work with sellers, is what I'm gonna do. So you really need to have that dedication where you want to place your time, your energy, and your mindset. So.
And you create that time block.
I did. Sometimes the distraction is there, but I start my day like literally right here at 8 o'clock, 8 to 12 o'clock, or till 1 o'clock. And then I do my listing presentation for like an hour or 2 hours, listing preparation. And then if I need to go out there, I have at least 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon to do showings or meetings.
Wow.
So one of the best ways to term that or word it is the perfect daily schedule. And I'll share a funny one with you. I did coaching once, believe it or not. And it drove me crazy because they gave me this schedule and I thought there's no way I can do this because they're like up at the gym at 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm turning over to get some more winks. But the perfect daily schedule is the one you use. So you can take what other people are doing and you try to fit it to yourself, but you don't want to break from the format too much because obviously what they were doing is working. So even like when people are talking about CRMs, the best one is the one you use. I don't care if you use your cell phone. Your phone goes with you everywhere. It's got a calendar. It's got texting features. It's got emails, CRM. And so you set your follow-ups and you do it. So I don't get up at 8 in the morning and start calling. I had a call center. They can do it for me. But the follow-up is still there. So what I really like, Karina, watch what you do is you made a decision. You sat down, you blocked it out. So, you know, when they say the fruit and the proof is in the follow-up, obviously looking at your numbers, it's there. So I would tell everybody, hey, just remember your perfect daily schedule is the one that works for you, but you have to do it. So my hat's off to you. I commend the effort and the determination because you just, like I say, everybody new in here, that's what raises me to new heights.
I wanted to share that everyone is thinking about different ways, but I felt like everything is really in the follow-up and really building our skills to convey the right message. Like this is not my first language. And I'm like, it took me minutes or an hour just to create a freaking video. And my husband just laughing at me like, just shoot the video, Kate. Like, sure, let me just do it. And then people sometimes they want to see you, you can connect with them. And sometimes I'm much more like energetic when I'm creating my video. And people wants that because it reflects what type of energy you're trying to give them. And people wants to hire people wants enthusiastic or who can offer knowledge, who can offer services. So.
And you want to work with people that want that because.
Who wants your business, will work hard for you.
Right.
And, you know, like you said, it's Leon said, it's your perfect schedule. And I'm going to also add this in our course is that it's, for me, it's my perfect calendar. Like, what does your ideal calendar look like? And my ideal calendar, like he said, you don't have to have anything fancy. This is my ideal calendar right here. You know, it's right here, time blocking. Yesterday was this, and every single day, this is my ideal calendar. It's all right here. What am I blocking for, you know, my focus time? What is, you know, what is my focus time? What are the 2 hours I'm going to set aside to really focus in on building my team or to call the StreetText leads and do conversions? And then what is the follow-up process? We have a 100-day process that we do on some of these leads. And in day 19 or day 15, they're buying a home. So we don't have to complete the 100-day process, right? But we're still, it's a process. We keep going if it doesn't work. But by that time, we've already converted day 15 or day 21. We've already got them and they're referring us to other buyers or sellers, right? So it's all about how you focus it and how you time block yourself.
So many
We're
great.
getting close to the end of the hour, so I'm gonna throw one out there. I don't know how many people do this. Don't put something in your calendar or phone or wherever if you're not gonna do it, because at that point you start looking beyond it. I have one thing in my phone that's there 365 days a year. At 7 o'clock every night, my phone says check tomorrow's schedule. And I turn around, if nothing else, I dedicated myself to that, to where I'll look, oh, takes but a minute to swipe to tomorrow. If I need to confirm an appointment or there's a follow-up, but your mindset is already following into tomorrow. So if you're going to do something, CRM, I don't care if you're paper and pencil, I don't care if you're wood burning it into a bench. If you're going to put something in there, do it. That's part of the commitment to that. So like I said, I have found myself being more on track with my check tomorrow schedule. 7 p.m. every night, it goes off. I put it in there as a repeating thing that never stops. And that has helped me a lot because confirming tomorrow's business appointments, this, that, whatever, we might not forget, but the people you're seeing do. So I would sit there and say, if you don't have something to make you already start looking at tomorrow, because getting up at 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning and confirming that 10 o'clock appointment, you're not going to call somebody at 7 in the morning. So start your tomorrow today is my word for you. Start your tomorrow today. And if nothing else, you know, put that in your phone, see how it works. And, you know, everybody's going to do what works for them. But that's my freebie for you today, because you'll find that you won't drop the ball as much. We're always going to drop the ball. Occasionally it happens. Imagine that. But just start your tomorrow today.
I have a question for Marcus, Mr. List Guy. Can you send everybody in a list a message or a video through Messenger?
No, not that I'm aware of. You just post that directly into their feed. So that's the key. I mean,
yeah,
you're gonna want to probably intentionally send something, each one of those their way, maybe like a copy paste type of thing at some point, like if you ever have the time. But I mean, Messenger is king in any endeavor, because once you get Messenger established, you can see it. You can see if they're getting it and if they've seen it. And you can send voicemail, you can send video, you can send PDFs. So Messenger is always going to be king because everybody gets it, just like a text message. So that's where I'm saying you got to go back to where you're going to most likely get communication established. And if you can get it back on Messenger, that's your end game, always. Because that's where everybody is. The average time on social right now is more than an hour. And it's in some cases maybe doubling because of COVID. Like, if we're in isolation, where do we go? We go back to our phones. We go back to social where we can connect with someone, and especially when we're feeling isolated. So that's where I encourage everybody is like, you're the bright light in their lives in many ways for people that are feeling isolated and, you know, uncertain and have fear and anxiety naturally because of what's happening. If you can create that light and be likable in that process, you're going to get that conversation started. It's not stalking if you're authentic.
True.
It's true. Like, it's, if you have something of value to provide and you want to help somebody, there's nothing stalking about that. And you never know what mutual friends you have and likes and interests and like the same ball game, the same team, like, you know, mama groups and stuff like that. There's so many things that connect us. We always go for the obvious, which is the home value, but we forget and neglect that we're all human beings just looking to connect.
And the other thing is, since you know, a lot of people doing the Facebook thing, I don't know how many of you are not taking advantage of the marketplace to post your stuff, because that's a free means to get you out there as well. And I was actually surprised how many people don't use it. So if you're doing listings, and you can even do buyer things in there, don't forget the power marketplace, because it's still part of Facebook, and Facebook is going to power everything they have.
And with that, Leon, don't forget the power of the actual share of your ad into groups, into your newsfeed, because everybody is paying Facebook for that sponsored ad, but you're neglecting the actual influence you have with your organic crowd, people that are already your friends. So if you share that back into your feed with a little bit of a customized message, be like, hey, for all my Vegas friends, I'm offering complimentary home values. I'll even bring over your favorite cup of coffee, just starting to submit your information below, right? That type of thing will string up past people too that you just forgot about. People that are now thinking about selling and so forth, or just curious. Like, it's just a strong thing to do. Don't neglect the organic traffic that you already have either.
Another way you can use those lists, if you create an event, you can invite everyone from a specific list to the event. So if you host any Zoom events and you want to talk to people that way, or you put in the description of the event what you want to say, instead of sending a message out, you can connect with people that way.
That's a good idea.
That's an awesome tip, Aiden. Appreciate that.
I just want to say something about split testing. I tried that ad you were saying that was so awesome, Marcus, last week. A new ad that everybody should try. Well, I tried it, and I'm really glad I split tested, because 2 of my ads, 1 email for each one was like $31. So obviously I turned those 2 off, and the other one was good, but it was the same exact location, the same exact ad, and you just do it 3 times. And if you don't, like the people that are saying, oh, this isn't working for me, well, maybe you're just doing one and it's not working, and it's $31 for a friggin' email, which is ridiculous. Definitely split test, because that stuff really does work. I don't know how, I don't know why. I just know that, you know, pick your best one and then turn the other 2 off.
Because remember, every time you run a split, you're basically splitting a new audience. That Facebook algorithm is being determined by the few hundred people that it's reaching. And if those people are like, not me, not me, not me, it's going to obviously cost you more for that click. But if you get early on traction, you're reaching the right audience. And 15 miles in many cases is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, because you can never assume that it's the ad's fault. It's the audience. So, and a lot of what I've found too is we've been running $9 a day for ads since 2015. Maybe it's time to be a little bit more aggressive with your ad spend and not think $9 a day is the end all be all either. Right? Like, everybody's stuck at that $9 a day because that's just naturally where, but if you're going into LA at $9 a day in a market that's $1 million plus, like maybe competitively jumping that up a little bit might be the result that you're looking for, because you are competing against every other advertiser, not just the real estate space. You're competing against anybody who's running ads in that particular space. Just something to think about as well. All right, I think we'll end it there. What do you think? Any last minute comments, questions, particularly, you know, while you have everybody here? We still have 50, impressively.
I have something really quick, just because Katrina was talking about being aggressive. And so my husband, I gave him the task of kind of helping me with my automations that I've done for buyers and sellers, because he's like the really slow and steady wins the race kind of guy. He spent weeks on it. It was driving me crazy. It's not my style at all. But for weeks, he's like researching and about, mail marketing and email marketing. And so he brought me all his data and I thought, that's interesting. And he helped me. But basically, as far as being aggressive, they said that the most likely way to convert people is actually to be very aggressive when you first get the lead by emailing twice a day. And I thought twice a day, but there's this whole method of asking a question, then offering something, promising something in one email, delivering it in the next email. So I went ahead and changed everything in StreetText and KB Core. And I actually found it to be working. So for the first week of a lead engaging with me, I'm sending 2 emails a day. And the 2 emails, one's like a video, one's a short, hey, did you get my earlier email? Let's connect. And it's actually working. I thought maybe it would be too much, but it does seem to work when you're more forward at the very beginning. And then you can kind of relax a little bit. So
I love that. I mean, that goes with Donna Swansea used to do the home value send, and then 10 minutes later, hey, just want to make sure you got it, right? Because you never, that one email tends to get open, and sometimes we're like, oh, I never got it. Oh, go ahead and check your trash filter. So it starts the conversation. Go ahead and check your spam filters. It did include a video, so if you actually search for here, you're most likely to find it. Oh, thank you so much, and it begins. Right?
I want to add something on that. If you get a notification that leads just came through, get on it. You really need to even just a short email or text. Hey, I'm Katrina Higgins. I just got your requests. I want to let you know that it's kind of past midnight, but I will work on it early in the morning, and then introduce yourself in video, and then just follow up. So I do the same thing, Jennifer. So introduce and then just tell them what's going on in the marketplace, and then it's a lot of follow-up in a week, so that I can be that annoying.
Me too, girl.
It's so good. It's so good. Speed to lead is really speed to first touch. And I was just connecting with another business this week, and the guy was saying that they increased because they were having a hard time with their booking rate. Excuse me. They increased their booking rate by 68% just by increasing their speed to lead. 68% more bookings just by increasing the speed to first touch. And it was exactly what you're talking about, Katrina. It's not even necessarily you're not even going to necessarily book that appointment, but it's within 72 hours of booking that appointment. So they've got that first touch right away within 2 minutes. That appointment might take 72 hours before it books. They book that appointment, but they've increased that rate 68%. That's huge. Just speed to first touch. And then the other thing I was going to say, Wendy, is you were talking about the split test and kind of understanding it. Another person I was actually connecting with just yesterday, they're a marketing expert. That's their expertise. And they said they've been so baffled by Facebook because they didn't understand why nothing that they were doing was working. And that's because traditionally in when you're doing advertising, you start with the creative and you kind of A/B test the creative and you figure out what works and you put it out there and then it kind of just works. But with Facebook, they got this weird algorithm on the back end that they show a different 500 people every time you show your creative. So what's the chance that your right home seller or buyer is going to be in the first 500 people that they show? It might be great, but it might not be. And then they match similar people to the ones that engage your ad. So you have to split test because you want to be able to increase. You might want to, you say some markets, if you have a big enough market, you might want to do 6, maybe even 9 ads because you're getting unique 500 people every time. So you're increasing that chance that you're going to find those right sellers in that ad. And that's going to have a huge impact on your overall performance. So yeah, split test for the win.
I like to call it if you're going to go to Vegas and play, blackjack, or you're going to play the slots or any type of gambling, right? You're not going to play one hand and expect to get that 777, right? If you play 5 hands, 6 hands, 7 hands, your chances are, your probability is going way high. And it's the same thing when you split test. Every time you're split testing, you got a new audience. And it's not I get it. You're spending a little bit more money up front while you're split testing, but only temporarily. So you can find that hot ad and you're still getting the leads that are generated with those split tests, right? So don't, it's not doom and gloom for oh, I got a split test. 3, 5, like John said, 10 ads. If you ran 10 ads at $10, we're not asking you to spend $100, but I guarantee you as these leads start coming in pretty fast, hot and heavy, and then you go to your contacts and realize that every one of those contacts has an ad ID, you can be a little bit more aggressive with pausing at that point because you're now recognizing the patterns of which ad is producing where and what, right?
Katrina, I'm sorry, you might have already said it, and I was texting back and forth with a client about an offer. You said you went from 4 and now to 23. Are these like contracts or?
Yes. Yes. So some of them, the listings will be next year.
Okay.
So they're not now, but I always tell them, like, it's like, think about this. It's like when you're dating, you don't want to just like give all the information, like, hey, it's like getting to know you. And when I ask for appointment, it's just basically, it's no obligation. I genuinely just want to get to know you, see the property condition, check the location of your home. And I will tell them it's all going to be 3 things when you want to sell a house: pricing, location, and condition. I can only rely on my previous history, or I can just rely on what I can pull up in my internet. But if I don't have the right information, and most sellers have done at least 3 improvements in the past 5 years. So what did you do? Like, tell me more. So you need to really just give them an initial consultation. Like, let's just get to know each other. And then on all of my appointments, 90% rate, they all sign with me, even though they're not now selling, but I know that I have business next year.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hey, Katrina, what's your ad spend and what city are you in?
I'm in North Carolina. I think I spend $500 on StreetText a month, but again, it's all about if I'm spending money for $500, I gotta get that return back. And then so this is why I'm much more aggressive. Like, do I want this? Do I want to make money? So it's maybe my personality. I'm much more like aggressive in a way, but if I'm spending money, it's better be I work hard, and I want to make sure I really convert those people.
Is that $500 of ad spend, or does that include your StreetText?
Just primarily StreetText. I think I have 3 ads that's running monthly.
So about $300 of ad spend, and then
yeah, around $300, $400. 500 is the maximum.
See,
But out of that,
like a business.
most of my leads are seller and buyers. They became 2. So most of them are sellers, but they wanted to buy. So that's a good deal in 1 lead. So, yeah.
Sweet. All right. Thank you so much for attending, everybody. That was an awesome mastermind. We'll see you next week. In the meantime, post whatever you learned in the insider group, or do you want more help and everything that will that you want to look forward to next week in the mastermind as well. And don't neglect that you still have all these other trainings, Calendly/StreetText, that you can have group discussions as well with conversion, the ad performance review, Logan's custom ads class. There's a lot of great opportunities to connect and really work on your business. Thanks, guys.
Hi, Veronica. Hi, Wendy. How's it going? Oh my gosh, like, this is just nerve